Network. I'm old enough to remember the last time we had an exciting quarterback fall to the Cowboys when they came up. Have you guys gone through that scenario if there was an exciting quarterback like, say, Jackson Dart or Shedeur Sanders there at 12?
Yeah, well, we've got a major commitment with Dak, and so you weigh all of that. And but I was going to add to this whole conversation, it's very often that somebody will step up and say, "Now we got this guy right here. We've got him, and we just signed him under contract."
Yeah. Let me see. Oh, we got. Well, we got to do some praising. Dion, she's mine. Hey, Dion. And Jordan, I don't talk to you.
Wait a second. Is this for real? Jerry Jones, the man who lives for chaos, is back at it again, pulling strings behind the scenes like some football godfather. With him, it's never just about the game, it's a whole wild production packed with ego, power, and dollar signs flying everywhere, and now rumor has it, he's cooking up something crazy involving none other than Shedeur Sanders, and this one's got NFL insiders losing their minds. Kevin Stefanski probably looked like someone just unplugged his controller mid-play. Because this move isn't just strategy, it's straight up internet-breaking chaos. Only Jerry could dream up something this unpredictable. And if his plan actually lands, oh, the NFL might never look the same again. See, the Cleveland Browns did something no one thought possible. Not winning the Super Bowl, not drafting a miracle, but finding a quarterback who doesn't crumble when the pressure's on. Shedeur Sanders stepped in cool as ice, firing lasers downfield like it's nothing. Suddenly, Browns fans are dusting off a word they haven't used in forever. Hope. Can you believe that? This kid might just be the real deal. Calm, confident, and built for the spotlight. He's got that rare aura, the type that makes fans whisper, "This could be the one." But just when Cleveland starts believing again, who slides in? Jerry's not just watching from the sidelines. He's plotting, whispering to insiders, working the phones, flashing that billionaire grin that always means one thing: trouble's coming. For Jerry Jones, this isn't just football, it's show business on grass. He doesn't own just the Cowboys, he owns the damn spotlight. Every Sunday is his stage, complete with overpriced nachos, fireworks, and a plot twist every single quarter. The moment he heard Shedeur Sanders' name echoing past Cleveland, something inside him snapped. You could practically hear the gears turning in that ego-fueled machine of his. Jerry didn't just get curious, he got activated. Quarterbacks to him aren't just athletes, they're walking gold bars with cleats on. And Shedeur, he's not just a quarterback, he's a money-printing machine with a rocket arm. Jerry doesn't see a player. He sees a brand, an empire in motion. In his head, Shedeur is already throwing bombs in Tokyo, headlining Netflix specials, and selling out arenas before Sunday Night Football even kicks off. You can picture those eyes of his glowing like a pirate spotting treasure on the open sea. This is the same man who built a $1.3 billion shrine to himself, and now he's circling his next masterpiece. And this move, oh, it could shake the entire league to its core. But the second Jerry Jones smells an opportunity, subtlety dies instantly. The man couldn't do quiet business if it tackled him on the 50-yard line. Jerry doesn't whisper, he announces. He doesn't move in silence, he storms in like a marching band. And sure, he knows one wrong call could be labeled tampering, but come on, this is Jerry Jones we're talking about. His moral compass spins like a carnival wheel, pointing wherever the spotlight shines brightest. So what's his next move?
Guess what? Guys get hurt. So you bet your whole house that you got him, and then all of a sudden you don't have him. So that's when your old mind starts saying, well, if this guy did get hurt, what would we do this year?
Oh, he gets slick with it. Suddenly, there's chatter, whispers of secret meetings, mysterious dinners, and accidental run-ins all across Dallas. Fancy steakhouses turn into strategy rooms, and private lounges start buzzing with talk that smells just a little too calculated. Third-party friends pop up out of nowhere, conveniently becoming the messengers in Jerry's new back-channel operation. It's cloak and dagger nonsense, except the spies are all millionaires with designer suits, dim lighting, and secrets big enough to sink yachts. But then, the plot twist that turns the rumor mill into a full-blown blockbuster. Enter Shedeur Sanders, Jerry's old partner in Flash, Cowboys royalty himself, the man who invented prime time before streaming even existed. These two go way, way back through money, fame, and enough ego to fill AT&T Stadium twice over. And here's the thing, If there's one person Jerry still listens to, even after decades of chaos and controversy, it's Dion. He leans in, and you can literally see the dollar signs flickering behind his eyes like neon lights in Vegas. In Jerry's head, this isn't recruitment, it's empire building. The man's not scouting talent, he's drafting the next chapter of his NFL legacy. But the best part, he's disguising it all as a football move. He's pitching it like the Cowboys just need their next franchise quarterback. Oh, sure, sounds logical, right? Dak's contract's a mess. The NFC East is chaos. It all checks out on paper. But let's be real. Logic and Jerry Jones haven't been in the same room since the 90s. This isn't your regular 2 picks and a backup kind of trade. Nah, Jerry's about to hit the red button and go nuclear. He's cooking up an offer so outrageous, it'd make the Herschel Walker deal look like a clearance sale at a pawn shop. We're talking multiple first-round picks, star players on the chopping block, and financial gymnastics that could give Wall Street a panic attack. Jerry's ready to rip apart his roster, torch the salary cap, and maybe even mortgage his yacht just to see Shedeur Sanders rocking that silver star on his helmet. That's how obsessed he is. And the wildest part, he's only just warming up. Meanwhile, up in Cleveland, things are getting messy behind the scenes. Half the front office is preaching patience. Protect Shedeur, build around him, let the kid breathe. They finally have a quarterback who doesn't need therapy after every loss. But the other half, oh, they've got dollar signs spinning in their eyes like slot machines. They're not thinking football anymore. They're thinking business. Merch drops, brand deals, flashy endorsements, turning Shedeur Sanders into the next marketing gold rush. Suddenly, the Cleveland Browns, yes, those Browns, are talking about becoming a global brand. Can you even picture that? Cleveland trying to sell flash and glitz is like trying to sell beachfront condos in the middle of Ohio. It just doesn't fit, but that doesn't stop the madness. The boardroom's on fire. Coaches shouting about development while executives chase dollar signs like it's Black Friday. And right in the center of this chaos stands Shedeur himself. Calm, focused, just wanting to play ball while billionaires circle overhead like vultures at a Texas BBQ.
So why don't you talk?
Again, nothing would be that, and we might or might not talk. And the rest of that gets in what we do every day.
Think that talks would pick up a little bit with him?
I don't know that necessarily talks will, but we've got a game coming, and he's on.
The pressure's insane. Front office politics, media hype, locker room drama. It's coming from every direction. And just when things couldn't get any crazier, there's that familiar whisper in the background. Jerry Jones. The man's lurking in the shadows again, smiling that quiet, dangerous smile. Because Jerry, oh, he's a master of the long game. He doesn't rush, he plots. He plants little seeds, drops subtle hints, and lets chaos do his work for him. He's the kind of man who'll sit back and wait for the perfect storm. An injury, a contract meltdown, maybe a locker room explosion. And when that door finally cracks open, boom. He strikes with the precision of a man chasing destiny, not just deals. For Jerry, it's never just about football. It's about legacy. He wants his name carved right next to the word itself. Football equals Jerry Jones. The man dreams of being remembered as the one who outsmarted the league, turned the Cowboys into a worldwide spectacle, and made every Sunday feel like a Hollywood premiere. In his mind, Shedeur Sanders isn't just a quarterback. He's the golden ticket to immortality. The bridge between the Cowboys' glorious past and the empire Jerry's been building brick by billion-dollar brick. Forget America's team. Jerry wants to make the Cowboys Earth's team. And honestly, it's almost funny, because his so-called master plan, it's pure comedy gold. The whole thing hinges on a rookie quarterback surviving Jerry's spotlight. That's not strategy, that's insanity. That's like tossing a goldfish into a shark tank and praying it learns to swim with the great whites. Dallas doesn't nurture quarterbacks, it devours them. One bad throw, one awkward press conference, and the Dallas media will shred Shedeur faster than a reality show contestant who forgot their lines on live TV. And Jerry, oh, Jerry, the same man who couldn't stand Jimmy Johnson getting credit for his Super Bowls, actually believes he can play puppet master with Deion Sanders' own son. The ego on this man is unmeasurable. Because here's the truth, when the game's on the line and the clock's bleeding out, you don't hand the ball to the guy who craves control. You trust the one who can rise above it. But Jerry, he's too busy chasing his reflection in the spotlight to realize he might be building his greatest downfall yet. Why, you ask? Because that's Jerry for you. He calls it confidence. But let's be real, it's delusion in designer boots. The man struts around thinking every wild idea is brilliance wrapped in silk, when half the time, it's just madness dressed up in money. And honestly, the only thing more ridiculous than that fantasy is the idea that Cleveland's front office could suddenly become smart and unified. Come on now, the Browns can't even agree on lunch, let alone a franchise-changing decision. If this insanity actually goes through, we're not just talking chaos, we're talking meltdown of the century, the kind that gets documentaries made about it. You'd have NFL sanctions flying, media going nuclear, and Jerry Jones spiraling from visionary mogul to billionaire who blew up his own empire during a midlife crisis. The man who built America's team could end up turning it into America's biggest punchline. And oh, the irony would be delicious. Because here's the thing. The NFL hates this kind of off-script drama. They want clean trades, polite smiles, and perfectly lit press conferences. But Jerry? Oh no, he's out here running secret dinner meetings like he's gunning for a Bond villain cameo, one wrong text, one leaky source, and boom! The league comes crashing down with tampering charges, million-dollar fines, investigations, and a PR disaster that'd make headlines for weeks. But don't think for a second Jerry would take the fall gracefully. No chance. He'd spin the whole thing like a PR magician, calling it innovation being punished or the league trying to suppress his genius. He'll make himself the victim of his own circus because that's the truth about Jerry. He doesn't survive chaos, he feeds on it. Controversy isn't a problem for him. It's the business model. To Jerry, bad press is strategy. While other owners panic over headlines, he's grinning from ear to ear because in his world, attention is victory. The Cowboys don't even need a Super Bowl ring to stay on top.
Direct question about, has he had a chance to get up with Shedeur and Shedeur throwing some passes? And you heard what Jerry Jeudy said. We throw the ball around a little bit, and Shedeur has an arm. He said Shedeur has one of the best arms.
Not when Jerry's drama keeps the cameras rolling every single season. All the Cowboys need are headlines. And with Shedeur Sanders in the mix, Jerry Jones might as well be holding a flamethrower inside a fireworks factory. Win or lose, it won't even matter. The Cowboys will dominate every headline, every talk show, every Sunday highlight. And right in the center of the storm, Jerry Jones, grinning like the self-crowned emperor of chaos. He's always wanted to be that guy. The king on the chessboard, pulling every string, moving every piece, running the game like it's scripted just for him. But beneath all that billionaire shine and ego-fueled swagger lies the brutal truth. While Jerry's out here playing chess with people's careers, Shedeur Sanders is just trying to survive. He didn't ask for this madness, didn't beg to be the face of Jerry's grand finale. All Shedeur ever wanted was to play the game, to prove himself, to build his name, not just live in his father's shadow. But somehow, he's been dragged into a billion-dollar soap opera filled with schemes, egos, and legacy wars. A Shakespeare play dressed up in shoulder pads. And somewhere off stage, Deion Sanders watches, waiting. Because when things turn serious, you'll feel it. That quiet before the storm, that eerie calm that makes your chest tighten. Everyone's pretending it's business as usual, but the vibe says otherwise. You can see it in the players' faces, especially when Shedeur walks into practice, focused, calm, but carrying a weight no rookie should ever have to bear. Because once Jerry Jones writes your name on his vision board, your life stops being yours. You're no longer just a quarterback. You're a storyline, a marketing campaign, a walking headline designed to keep the cameras rolling. And the scariest part, once Jerry claims you as part of his empire, he's got one of the best arms in the game, but now he's just another piece in a billionaire's quest for immortality. And that's when things really start to spiral, because at this point, it's not even about football anymore. It's Shakespeare in shoulder pads. Picture it, Jerry Jones, the aging king, desperate to build one last monument before the curtain falls. Then there's Shedeur Sanders, the prodigal prince, trapped between two dynasties, torn between his father's legacy and Jerry's empire of flashing lights and money. And somewhere in the middle sits Cleveland, the fractured kingdom, split between loyalty and greed, trying to decide whether to protect their golden boy or cash out on a fantasy that's bound to crash harder than a bad stock. Inside the Browns locker room, the tension's thick enough to choke on. Coaches are whispering about giving Shedeur the keys to the future, while the front office is busy counting how many luxury boxes they could sell if they turn him into the next NFL superstar. It's chaos in a suit, polished, professional, and completely out of control. Everyone's smiling for the cameras, pretending everything's fine, but behind closed doors, the fuse is already burning. You can feel it. This isn't about X's and O's anymore. It's about power plays, paranoia, and profit. And just when it feels like things can't get any crazier, boom, here comes Jerry Jones. Cowboy hat tilted low, swagger in his step, wallet fat with oil money, and intentions even fatter. The second he starts circling, the paranoia in Cleveland spikes through the roof. Suddenly, everyone's on edge. Whispers get louder, rumors spread faster, and even the water boys are acting like Wall Street insiders with sources. Every hallway, every phone call, every whisper in Cleveland started to feel like a setup. And poor Shedeur, the one actually holding the football, was stuck right in the middle of this circus, looking more like a confused ringmaster than a rookie quarterback. The spotlight was blinding, and the Dallas media, oh, they poured gasoline on the fire. Every little thing he did turned into prophecy. If Shedeur showed up to practice wearing cowboy boots, half the NFL started panicking, executives rewriting their game plans, agents making calls, owners sweating like the apocalypse was about to hit the league. And that's when Jerry's vision went from ambitious to full-blown Shakespearean drama. In Jerry's mind, Shedeur wasn't just a quarterback. He was the chosen one, the prodigal prince sent to restore the Cowboys dynasty and carry it into eternity. Forget Dak Prescott, forget the carousel of playoff heartbreaks, forget the dusty Super Bowl banners from the VHS era. Jerry saw Shedeur Sanders as his golden ticket to cheat time itself. To Jerry, landing Shedeur wouldn't just mean winning games, it would mean transcendence. The Cowboys would stop being just a team and become something divine, a global empire that could rival Disney, Nike, or Apple. Every touchdown would sell jerseys, every press conference would move markets. But of course, this is Jerry we're talking about. Wanting it wasn't enough, he had to make it legendary. So the rumors started flying, wild and billion-dollar big. Secret meetings, mysterious calls, backroom whispers, the whole league buzzing like Wall Street on draft night. Jerry wasn't just ready to make a trade, he was ready to trade everything. Players, picks, cash, pride, none of it mattered. Because in his mind, if he could get Shedeur Sanders in that silver star helmet, the Cowboys wouldn't just own Sundays, they'd own forever. 3 first-round picks, a Pro Bowl defender, maybe even a lifetime supply of Texas brisket just to sweeten the deal. That's how wild it got. And if you listen closely, you could almost hear Jerry pacing across his yacht deck, phone in hand, muttering, "What if I throw in the entire practice facility?" Or hell, maybe the yacht itself. The man was spiraling in true Jerry Jones fashion, out of control, unstoppable, and loving every second of it. Because this wasn't about football anymore. This was about legacy, about who gets to control the story when the dust settles, who stands beside Jerry under those flashing cameras, who gets remembered when ESPN drops that 20-year anniversary documentary about his empire. Jerry didn't just want to build a roster, he wanted to etch his name into NFL history forever. And in his mind, Shedeur Sanders wasn't just part of the plan. He was the final chapter he'd been waiting his entire life to write. But then came the problem, the NFL itself. Oh boy, the league was sweating bullets. Tampering whispers were spreading faster than memes after another Cowboys playoff heartbreak. Reports started leaking. Jerry working the phones, calling up Dion, sliding notes under dinner tables, making friendly promises that sounded a little...
Shedeur Sanders, like I've stated in these previous videos, it's all lies. It's all smoke and mirrors. Jerry Jeudy just verified that. He's a wide receiver. He's the one catching the ball from Shedeur. So he knows what that arm strength is. He knows what that arm talent is. A lot of stuff that's been lied about Shedeur, all the collusion. We heard what Eric Dickerson said. Fix was in. But it sounded like Jerry Jeudy said, man, Shedeur is a baller. Shedeur got a bright future. It's almost like he's saying, man, he's
too friendly. If even half of it was true, the NFL wasn't just looking at drama, they were staring down a full-blown scandal. You could practically feel the panic radiating out of those league offices, like someone just told them Roger Goodell's Wi-Fi got hacked and all the DMs were going public. The higher-ups knew one thing. If Jerry was really pulling strings behind the curtain again, it wouldn't just rock the Cowboys, it could shake the entire NFL to its core. Let's be honest, this is Jerry Jones we're talking about. The man's been bending NFL rules since pagers were considered cutting-edge tech. What's the league really gonna do? Fine him? Suspend him? Please. Jerry would just cut a check, rename the entire fines department the Jerry Jones Center for Creative Accounting, and host a ribbon-cutting ceremony with a smile for the cameras. That's how bulletproof he thinks he is. And that's exactly why the stakes couldn't be higher. Because if Jerry actually pulled this off, if Shedeur Sanders ever walked into AT&T Stadium wearing that silver star, it wouldn't just be a trade, it'd be a revolution. Picture it, headlines flooding every sports site for months, jersey sales blasting through the roof, ESPN and Netflix already rolling out documentaries before the ink even dries. Imagine Jerry sitting in his luxury suite, whiskey glass in hand, grinning like the Joker while the whole world loses its mind. He wouldn't just be celebrating, he'd be immortalized. This would be the moment Jerry Jones turns himself into legend status, the king who dared to rewrite football history one more time. But while Jerry basks in the chaos, Shedeur Sanders would be standing right in the center of the storm. A young man who just wanted to play ball, now trapped in a billionaire tug-of-war that could reshape the league forever. And over in Cleveland, the Browns would become the divided kingdom. split between loyalty and greed, tradition and temptation. Half the franchise would be fighting to protect their golden boy, while the other half would be eyeing dollar signs and spotlight deals. Every move, every word, every call could tip the scales. This isn't just drama anymore. It's NFL Shakespeare, a wild saga of kings, power, betrayal, and ambition. Only this time, the swords are swapped for shoulder pads and Gatorade bottles. Every scene feels bigger, every move bolder, and every headline crazier than the last. So what happens next? Does Jerry make the impossible call? Does Cleveland finally crack under the pressure? Or does Shedeur Sanders become the legend both kingdoms are fighting to claim? Only time, and maybe Jerry's next outrageous phone call, will tell. But one thing's crystal clear. This saga is far from over. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment if you're here for the madness. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. See you on the next one.